Hello everybody. I just wanted to show quickly how I do my visualizers for my tracks, and it's pretty basic, pretty easy. So after you open your After Effects, you set the duration to the length of your track. In my case, that's knock right now, which is 224. So I set it to 224. You can check that on the timeline. So right here should be 224 and it's 224. Okay, back at the start, going to this. Okay, so don't mind this first. Look at this, the project setting, and just gonna right click there, import, then click file, and I am going knock, so I'm gonna click that, and then I'm gonna control click my cover and my background and import all of those files. Next I'm gonna just drag those into the timeline, and you can see them. So cover, so then shift all those accordingly. Background always goes bottom, and hide your cover because we first need to add a solid element, or the solid, and you can just call it visualizer or viz for short, whatever you want. Just make sure it's black and it's the same resolution, and then hit OK, and then you have the visualizer. So then you go under here, you're gonna go audio spectrum, and you're gonna add the audio spectrum. So it's really simple, you just take it and drag it on, or drag it into this part where it says effect controls visualizer, and I have the audio spectrum. So I'm gonna minimize that so I can add all the other effects first. Then you're gonna add polar polar coordinates, add that there. It's just okay. And next up is mirror, because you want to mirror it to make a circle, because it's not going to be a circle after polar. And the last one would be for color gradient, so that's there. Okay, so to set this up my way, I usually go into the audio spectrum first. You're going to click here and you select knock.mp3 or whatever file extension you use. Next up, start point 0 and end point 960 works the best for me in 1920 by 1080, and that's pretty much that part done. On the end frequency, you're just gonna put in the range of 130 to 230. I suggest 130 and 200 maximum, but if you want, you can do this how you wish. Frequency bands, typically 2000 works really great, and maximum height 1000. The audio duration I usually set to 180 and offset to -20. After you have all that done, you gotta click here and click side B, because you only want one side to be present. You want the circle not to go into multiple sides and extending out through other elements of the video. Okay, so once you've got that done, that's pretty much it for this. And next you got polar. Polar is really simple. You're just gonna click here where it says polar to rect and click rect to polar, and then just drag this all over to 100%. You're gonna get this half circle. Then you go into mirror, and just over here at this x coordinate, just type in 960. It's gonna show up here. On the for color gradient, my typical template for this whole album was white, then red again, and then black. That worked really perfect for me. And you have these dots, so the top left one is the first one, the next one, and this is the last one. In my case, that's the left right ones are not important to me as much because they're the same color, but if you have different colors you might want to know that. After I do this, that's done. You don't need that anymore, and that's pretty much your visualizer. If I skip ahead, you're going to see that. What you can do now before you continue with anything else is put your cover PNG on top and scale it appropriately. You can hold shift to scale it the same way. Like if I go like this, it's always gonna scale it properly. It's just leaving. Okay, so up here, I always have these gaps. So what I sometimes do is right click on that and click transform, then position, and on the Y coordinates just move it, try to move it to center kind of, and same over here. It may look at center but it's not, and then you can kind of extend this and extend this. Oh, sorry. You can extend those accordingly. So, and if you need, you can just go back to transform and fix it. Like up here, I think it's not that good, so I can go 541.5, and that's almost perfect. You can also do it with your mouse if you'd wish. I sometimes prefer not to because it's really messy. Okay, back to the visualizer. You're just going to click on it and then Control D, which is going to duplicate it. And then you're going to drag the one that's selected and just put it down. One. So now this one. So wait, this is the first one. This is the main one. So you can color it whatever you like. Here, I'm going to set it pink. This is the other visualizer. In here, you're just going to set the frequency bands to 100, and you're going to see those frequency bands over there, and you're going to increase their maximum height by a tiny bit, and you can mess around with these options like so, and pretty much nothing else needs to be done. So yeah, you can collapse all those. Okay, so that's the visualizer, and on that second visualizer, the red one, we need to add some other effects like CC Light Burst 2.5. When you add that, you're gonna see this. This is the look I get typically. You can change the ray length and the way it looks, intensity, and things like that. And another one would be glow. You're gonna take glow and put it right underneath that, and it's gonna give it a better look. You can change the intensity and so on, just how you like it. And that's pretty much it for that part. After that, you're gonna click on the most bottom above background, then shift click the top element. You're gonna right click that and pre-compose and just call it final. And this is an important part. You're gonna create a new composition, name it music with lowercase. Make sure that all those are right, that nothing has changed. You're gonna go back into your project and import knock. Right click it, and then keyframe assistant, convert audio to keyframes. Once it's done, you can delete the knock. And if you expand all these, click on the left channel and then shift click on the right channel, and then just delete them, because we only want the both channels. We don't want different channels to control different things. Okay, so now that's done, you can go back into the original, and on there you're gonna add a magnified distort effect. Make sure it's distort, not animation preset. And you're just gonna drop it on final. Okay, so I think you might need is this line of code, which I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so this line of code that is going to make sure that everything works how it's supposed to and nothing does something wrong. So I'll have that in the description. I'm gonna copy that one, and then over here you're gonna alt click on this magnification, but before that you do that, set this to 100, and this to 1100. And then alt click this icon. It's gonna show this, and then you can just paste this in and hit, and you can click away. And if it shows any errors, there is something wrong. So make sure you check for errors in case there's something wrong. After that, you can choose to add fades, and if you don't like to, you can just keep them like this and later on open up Adobe Premiere Pro, something like that, and add them there.